Sorry, our intro music is way too loud.
Yeah,
We're working on it. I learned how to do some compression, EQ type stuff.
Yeah, so
Our
we have
audio should be better.
we have Chad on the mic today.
Chad is on the mic.
So we're hoping this works. We can't tell while we're filming.
I think he's gonna be in y'all's left ear.
Yes,
so,
we think
I'm sorry.
he won't be in the right ear, but we'll be in the
We'll be in both ears.
Yeah.
Left and right.
I think. I hope.
I think.
We're not sure. So if we're in the right and he's in the left, I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry. But either way, welcome back. Another podcast.
Back.
Let's go.
I don't know if this is a Wednesday morning, I think.
I would
is this
think.
a Wednesday morning episode?
We'll find out.
It
You don't
might
know
be
when we
both.
post it. We don't know when we're going to post it.
Are you cold?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What is one thing
Yeah.
that you like about winter?
I thought you were going to say women. I'm not going to
No.
lie.
Okay. No. Let's not do that. One thing you like about
What? Yeah, okay. Winter? One thing I like about winter. I would say in general, it gives, or it makes me slow down a little bit. Can't be running around, do a ton of stuff. I would say in general, it's still busy, obviously, but like in general, I would just say it slows down. Life slows down a little bit.
That's actually, yeah.
Fair?
The older I get, the more I value like slowing down and instead of, but I'm still like,
I've definitely
Very
made some changes in slowing down. I mean, Chad, you're younger than us, I guess, so you still busy as all get out, or?
I mean, kind of, but like, okay, I always say it's like, okay, from like when it starts getting cold to like February, end of February, bro, it can just be summer again.
I
That
think
March muddiness and cold,
Yeah.
the cloudy and 45 and mud,
Oh,
and wet
yeah.
and salty, bro. I will go to Florida. Like that weather sucks.
we should talk about what the worst month is.
well, okay. I was gonna say the only good thing about March is March Madness.
Yeah,
March
that's
Madness
That's
is
facts.
fun.
That's facts. That's fact.
The brackets and everything.
Yeah.
But
I hear-
even that's kind of overrated.
I hear only facts.
Yeah.
Um,
I haven't heard any not
Facts only. Yeah. Shout out Daniel. I was gonna say, just what's the worst month? I've heard people say February.
I was
think-
born in February, so
I would say March is the
I'll
worst.
object.
Yeah, I'd agree. Okay,
Because
hang on, February, March, April. Okay, April comes after. Nah, I don't know though. Cause
February,
like in
March.
March there's hope. Cause like end of March there's like maybe buds on the trees. Or is that like end of April?
I was gonna say April because I feel like April, like sometimes in April you might get like good enough weather for us to go golf. Sometimes you might get some good weather in April. I think March it's rare you ever get.
Yeah.
But you're also past the snow and it's like the same thing, 45 and.
The only bummer about April though is after March you're expecting like, okay, now the weather's good, it's gonna be right.
Like 70s and,
And
it's
then
like
it's just not.
50s
That's
and
just
rainy.
Ohio.
It's just not good.
Yeah, it is just Ohio. You're
Like
right.
until you get into June, it's like, okay, now we're cooking.
Yeah.
Peanut oil.
Peanut oil.
I love that.
Why?
saying. Now we're cooking with peanut oil. You've never heard that?
No, not with peanut oil. Have you heard of
you
that,
heard
Chad?
I've never heard that. In my life.
You might be old.
I'm about to Google this now.
You might be
Now
old.
we're cooking with peanut oil.
You got some.
Oil.
You got
have
some.
to say oil. Peanut oil.
Oh, oh! I just got the dates for VBS. Okay,
Nice.
nice. 1st of August.
What was that one song? Dun, 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 dun. The last. You don't remember that song?
I'm waiting to hear what else you're gonna say.
I forget. That's just the beat.
That just reminded me of like the 20th Century Fox.
And the sky. Na, 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 na,
Yeah, I got you.
na, 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 na.
Yeah, I got you. Shout out VBS songs.
Now we're cooking.
That came from Duck Dynasty.
No way.
That's what it says.
there's
It said,
no-
That's where the soundbite came from. It says, now we're cooking with peanut oil from Duck Dynasty.
Maybe. I probably might have.
2013.
2013,
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Where did you hear it from?
Oh, everywhere.
It was literally a 1 second clip.
That was a
Bro,
1
nah,
second
hold
video?
up. I gotta go back.
That was hilarious.
Was that from Psy?
Yeah.
No, that was Phil.
I thought that was Sonic.
Yeah, is there sound on that laptop?
Hang on.
Yeah, turn the sound all the way up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you might not be able to hear it because it's plugged into the TV.
Oh,
Bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Now we're
probably
cooking
won't.
with peanut oil.
Now we're cooking with peanut oil. All right.
Before the end of tonight.
That's the title. Now we're cooking with peanut
That's
oil.
another. Yeah, now we're cooking with peanut oil. Oh,
We got Jeff Foxworthy on the screen. All right.
interesting.
All right.
Clean Christian comedy.
Yeah, love that.
Oh, that reminds me of looking up clean vines. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
what was the what did we used to look up? Clean vines that.
For kids or.
Well, but the funniest.
David Lopez?
titles- No,
Do you remember David Lopez, Chad?
Oh, yeah.
the funniest
David
titles
Lopez
though that
slaps
Vine
so hard.
videos like. These vines are so clean it'll clean you right up, or like some of that.
Oh yeah.
There were some funny ones.
Like you don't need to take a shower or
yeah,
like.
these vines are so clean you don't even have to take a shower. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Stuff like that.
Those are funny. I should try to look it up.
Yeah.
Do you have it on your phone?
What?
The
What are you-
saying, the peanut oil.
Oh yeah, it's just him standing out like in their driveway, and then they're just like out there frying something. I don't know what it is. Whatever they did in Duck Dynasty, and then like all the wives and Jace are standing there, and Phil's just like, and now we're cooking with peanut oil. And then they all just laugh for no reason.
I thought that was a saying for like
That's awesome.
generations. But
that literally might be where that came from.
It
Like,
literally-
Yeah, it could
actually,
be.
because everybody used to watch Duck Dynasty, and it was like
now we're cooking peanut.
2013.
Yeah. Those
What-
were the days.
What to me is wild. We're closer to 2030 than we are to 2015.
That's
That is
crazy.
unbelievable. Like 2015, it feels like was not that long ago. I don't know. What was the most goated year?
16.
2016.
2020. No. I'm just kidding, guys.
He's like, I love staying inside.
Introverts unite.
That's right.
No, I'm not really that much of an introvert.
I always get ticked off at that. Actually, not ticked off, but like, I don't think.
Like
everybody-
making excuses if you're an introvert. Or
Yeah.
what?
Well, anything.
Oh, well, I'm an introvert.
Everybody is either an introvert and an extrovert. They're both.
Yeah.
Because in certain settings, you're both.
You can be. I mean, definitely there's people who are more introverted than extroverted.
Yes, agreed. But like on a scale,
you can still be an extrovert.
everybody is.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm an introvert.
The most introverted person in
100%.
public with their family is like the most loud person ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a little triggered.
Brevin touched on it though, bro. The people who like make excuses and be like they don't want to go hang out with, like they don't want to go, and they don't just say that they don't want to go, and then
Yeah.
they like make up a whole bunch of excuses to like why they can't go. And it's
Oh,
like, bro,
but without
I can
telling you.
literally
But without
tell
telling
you
you.
could go, but
Yeah.
you don't want to. All you gotta do is tell me you don't want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. They're
like, oh, I'm
oh,
an introvert. Nah, I'm sick, and
Well, or it's like, oh, I have to do this. It's like, bro, like,
just tell me you don't want to go.
yeah,
Yeah, I
for
have to go
real, like,
wash
I
my
don't care.
car.
Like,
Well,
if you don't want to go, it's
yeah,
cool.
tell me you don't want to go.
Yeah, like it's not a big deal, but like,
Better get
and-
heated.
Oh yeah.
I saw a meme the other day that said, it was a meme of like, they were like exploring this new planet, and this one guy was like, well, I know they're not vegans on this planet, and the guy's like, well, how do you know? He's like, well, they haven't told me yet, and it's been 5 minutes.
Oh yeah,
Vegans always tell you within the first 5 minutes of meeting them, you know they're vegan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry out to all vegans out there,
I
but
don't think we have vegan listeners.
yeah. I don't.
If you're listening to
That
us,
would be so depressing.
yeah, no meat, no anything live that you're
What
eating.
would I like? What would you actually eat?
The carnivore. Do you know people who are doing the
My
carnivore
dad is
diet?
doing it.
Is your dad doing
Yeah.
it right now?
Yeah.
Nice.
See, my dad has
He's lost a
carnivore
lot of-
shirt from that challenge.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, my dad does
White
too.
feather.
Yes,
White
my
feather,
dad does
baby.
too.
Shout out Spencer Perkins.
Spencer Perkins, the editor of the Bearded Butchers.
Bearded
Let's go.
Grow
Yeah.
a beard.
Bearded Butchers has over 2 million subscribers now.
Yeah.
Wow.
They are
massive.
growing like crazy.
They're massive.
Massive props to Spencer.
Spencer. I haven't seen you in so long. I saw
Spencer,
you
we
at a
need to
grad
hang out
party
again.
like a few years ago, but
Bro, bring
Yeah.
in Spencer. Bro.
Yes, we need.
I love
Yes,
that kid.
yeah.
so
Yeah.
much. I
Right here,
literally never
Spencer.
talk to. Like I talk to him like twice a year, and then we just the rest of the time we're just sending each other Instagram reels.
Yep.
And
mhm.
I vibe with that.
Oh yeah.
those are some of the best friends.
Oh yeah.
Like
You don't speak-
actually talk to them in person, but like you have this like you know what's up.
Mhm.
You know what's
It's like me and my friend after not talking, saying a word, but sending each other 15 reels.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just that.
I just saw a title: "Clean Vines that Butter My Croissant." You know,
Oh,
like
yep.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep, the good old days, sheltered kid days.
Yeah, that should be on like a Christian homeschooled starter pack,
Uh-huh.
like Clean Vines.
Yeah, there you go. Clean mind, you can show your grandparents.
Clean.
Yep.
Some of those titles are actually more entertaining than the actual Vines themselves.
There were two people that I watched growing up. It was like Vines-wise, it was David Lopez and Thomas Sanders.
Thomas Sanders,
bro.
I was just about to say that.
Story time. It's like he would do all those crazy
I
ones.
don't even remember.
Dude, look up Thomas Sanders like with the Vines. I think he is not have the same values as we do. We'll put it that way.
He is not clean, if I remember right.
It's not that it wasn't clean, but he's gay. I'm pretty sure.
He was. Yeah, he was actually clean, but he was gay. That ruined it for me when I found out he was gay.
Oh yeah. Well, my mom was like, no, you just can't listen to
that.
Yeah.
That was like Chopped.
Oh yeah.
Like that show was so good.
Was that
was like my childhood. Like if I see Chopped, I'm like, oh my goodness, that brings back
Chopped and Cutthroat Kitchen. Those two.
Yeah.
We watched both of those. Oh, that's funny.
Chopped was number one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What were the shows? I just remember Chopped, Cutthroat Kitchen. Beat Bobby Flay is still a good one.
Yep, that's still going.
My dad likes that one still.
This is a little bit of get your opinions.
Hot take?
Kind of.
All right, hot take alert.
Hot. Like the oven's out, we're about to turn the burner on maybe.
And you don't want to touch the pan.
No, don't touch it. So as a Christian, like your kids and stuff,
I'm gonna love this.
like if you're watching Chopped and there's like obviously the main dude was gay.
Was his name Alton Brown? Is that the same guy? That was Cutthroat
No,
Kitchen.
he's actually a Christian.
That's all. So that's Cutthroat Kitchen.
I think so.
I just
Alton
remember.
Brown for sure. He's actually a legit Christian, if I remember right. I don't know what
Chopped Host.
But Chopped Host, yes,
Ted Allen. Yep.
He's gay. He is. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious.
No, that sounded like, what was that interview in that it was like, today we have the gay activist.
Yeah, and he's like,
why are you gay?
Who says
Why
I'm?
are you?
Who says I'm gay? You are gay.
African past.
Yeah.
Why are you?
Yeah. Well,
I'm
that
just
got really weird.
I'm
Really.
just saying he is. But like, as a Christian kid, like, should you still let your kids watch it? In my opinion, like back when these were filmed, when I was watching, it was like 2015, 2013, whatever. It wasn't as normal of a thing. Like now, it's just like everywhere.
Also, you couldn't tell. I don't think I could tell that. It was not like he was like.
Is that like, to me? The only thing is, if you just completely shelter, like, no, you can't do any of that. Like, no. Then the moment they meet one in real life, they're just gonna freeze up. And like, if we're supposed to be a light, like, aren't you supposed to be able to, like, obviously you don't want to be like getting your knowledge from people like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you also like, is it maybe even a good thing to like, hey, just so you know, this guy is not living the way we agree with.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That just depends on the age, I think.
Like I feel like you should. Don't be like, oh yeah, dude, this guy's advice is awesome. Like, no, don't do that. But I think it's fine to watch it. Just realize, like, okay, this guy does not think how we do, but he's still human. He's still.
We need to pray for him.
It's a sin just like you sin. It's a sin like I just said. Like,
After every episode, we're gonna pray.
We're gonna pray. We're gonna have a prayer meeting.
Yeah. Lord, I pray over this Chopped episode.
Hey, that wouldn't be bad.
Not at all. Oh, I saw it was funny.
You know what I mean, though.
Yes. Yeah. No,
okay.
I think it all just depends on age. I don't know what age that is when I would do that. Yeah. What was I gonna? I was gonna say. Oh, John Chris had a bit about something like that, and he was like, "Yeah, shoot, there goes the train. Just left.
The train has gone off the track."
Yep.
What did John Chris talk about?
Oh man, it's something. What were we just talking about?
Ted Allen.
Ted Allen, and if it's okay if your kids watch Ted Allen.
Yeah, it's so.
I mean, that's
can your
like
kids watch Ted Allen?
I don't know.
Oh my
That's what
goodness.
we were talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember. It might come back to me soon. I don't know, but it's it's not Our Perspective episode if Randall doesn't forget.
If the train hasn't left the tracks, it's not been recorded.
Yep.
But that is our perspective on Ted Allen.
Yeah.
That is our perspective on Ted Allen.
Yes.
That's a title too. Goodness.
Ted Allen just. I don't know.
I know what Brevin's like. I get what Brevin's talking about though. Like we shouldn't be like I don't know. I don't think you should just go treating them like they're like some aliens. Like because that'd be the people who be like, oh yeah, my kids can't watch this. My kids like then they get out and they go to like
public school.
Canton. Yeah. I don't know. They
Shade
go to where
on
my
Canton.
rental house is at and they're like, yo,
Well,
these
Yeah.
people actually exist.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
yeah.
That is, I definitely agree with that because I definitely think at some point, younger than what I was as well, I would have been able to handle it. I just had no information about it. It was like just steer clear.
Yeah. Well, and I just remember in public school, like we had what was his name?
Do you want to say his name?
Oh yeah, no,
Oh, okay.
he's cool. He was an atheist. So like we talked about it a little bit, whatever. What do we got here?
Whoa. Oh, we should probably keep talking just for people to. I'll keep talking, just rambling on until.
No,
That's my bad. I was distracted.
No, it's
you're
okay.
good,
I
but-
thought your eyes went like, whoa.
That was a wild article about
Yeah.
Ted Allen.
Just so you know, I don't know anything really about Ted Allen other than he was on Chopped and that he was
And he wears glasses.
he was gay, or he is gay.
He was.
But anyway,
Oh, that's wild.
so what was I saying? Oh yeah, in my class there was an atheist guy.
Yeah.
And like I knew he was like whatever, but it was actually really good to talk to him. He was just like, no, I don't believe there is a God. No. And then I remember, this is kind of crazy looking back, but I was in probably like 10th or 11th grade. I think 11th grade, and like this one girl would, like, I don't know. I wasn't really scared to like talk to anyone, and I don't think many people listened to her just because she had some wild takes.
Like the girl was the atheist.
No, this
No.
is a
Oh,
different girl,
okay.
or a different person. She was like, we were talking about abortion, like whether it's right or wrong in 11th grade. Like, but like no one else talked to her, and I kind of felt bad. So I was like, I at least was like, okay, so like, how do you feel? And then she talked. That was so much more valuable than like, oh yeah, don't listen to them. Oh, don't watch them. It's like, no, actually, like, obviously don't like learn from them, but like, you can learn like how they think, maybe a little bit of like, okay, this is how you help them, or it's not even about that. It's like, if you do too much of that, it's like, oh yeah, they're not even human. They're like aliens almost. Like, yeah, nope.
But
Like,
even
no,
that.
they go through the same stuff we do.
Yeah. Like everybody. Yeah, I think I said that last episode or a few episodes ago, but like I think I said something about like, yeah, we were busy or I was busy, and like everybody's busy. Like nobody is not busy. Like
There's only a few people in this world that are not busy.
yeah, and they're not around Holmes County.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was just yeah.
The entire state of like Montana and like some of those out west, they're just not busy.
Heat on
Like,
Montana.
The whole state is not busy.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, some of them.
I feel like Idaho is not busy.
It's very laid. Like some of those states are so laid back. Like you show up to work kind of whenever you want. Like, oh yeah, let's grab breakfast for an hour. Just chill, get to work, kind of do what you want.
Yeah.
Like here, it is like you better be there at the moment there's light. You better be like an hour in on your job.
You got something to look up, Chad, or you trying to find something?
Oh, I was just looking this up. This was a meme I saw. I was just like, with Brevin saying like how we should actually like talk to people.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Oh.
Like, I don't know. Right now, it's just I don't know. I get
It's a fire graphic.
like I think like some of the people I've ran into like they like if they actually don't believe like you know anything spiritual related and they're just like no. It's because everybody they've talked to has been like you have to do this and this and this different now.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, they do, but like, it doesn't matter like right now. Like,
yeah.
like you know, maybe we should like try to be show them that like, yeah, you can act or like be a, how do you say that?
Be a light or
Like
what?
yeah, like be a or like show them that there's something different about you, like that you can actually like they can actually
Yeah.
do this.
Well,
There's
So the graphic says, I called you to win souls, not arguments. And there's so much
Boom.
truth in that
Mic
because
drop.
there are so many people, and I'm sure I'm guilty of it as well, but like you ever debating with somebody and like you don't even care about if you're right or wrong, you just want to win the argument. You're just like, let me win this and then I can be fine.
Oh no,
like-
I never had that.
Yeah, like, that's crazy. Christ called you to win souls, not to win arguments.
That's really good.
That's some heat right there.
That's fire.
Yeah,
Straight fire.
that is straight fire. Yeah,
spiritual fire.
spiritual fire. Yeah.
No, that is, it's good. Well, and I mean, going back to that girl that I had talked to a little bit, like no one gave her the light of day, and every Christian that she talked to, just boom, argument, try to fight her.
I thought you said she wasn't the atheist,
No, she isn't.
so she's a Christian.
No, you're confused. She
Well, you
was
said
talking about
she-
the abortion issue.
I know, but
She
what?
talked about different stuff.
I know,
Well,
but like, was she a Christian?
That's
what I was asking
think
you.
So
Okay.
She was probably one of the, like, she believed there was a God, but, like,
Not sure
doesn't
which is
know,
one.
like, all roads
Okay.
lead to God type. But anyway, but, like, the Christians that were so strong against abortion were just trying to win the argument.
Uh-huh.
And, okay, there is subject matter to win, yes.
Yeah.
You can win.
Win that thing.
But that's not, like, it's, the Bible talks about it, too, like, to win people over by jealousy.
Yeah. Well, even just like
Like,
I know everyone used it, but like Jesus sat with the sinners. He didn't shun them, if you will. I'm sorry for using that term, but whatever. But like be friends with people like that. Obviously, I think there's also somewhere about that where like being with good company or something like that, or surround yourself with all that. But by all means, don't shy away from being friends with somebody because they don't believe the same way you do. If anything, that should almost be more of a thing to be friends with them, to try and show them. I mean, I talked about it. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast or not, but about that spike ball friend that I felt like I was called to pray for. Like, that was a wild thing. Never knew if I was going to. That was one thing, though, that I was like, I know I shouldn't be friends with this guy because he's like cussing a lot. And I guess in our eyes, he wasn't that good of a person. He was, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, he wasn't that clean, all that stuff. But yeah, it was complete opposite. I actually felt like I should be his friend more because of that and show him what I have and what he's missing. And sure enough, now he's a Christian, like, dedicated to the Lord. Fire.
Would Jesus, like, I mean, in today's, bring it to 2023, like, okay, in Jesus' time, like, he got ridiculed like crazy from the Pharisees for sitting with the sinners and the prostitutes or whatever. Well, in today's world, like, going out to eat with a trans person. Like, Jesus, okay, this is a hot take kind of, but it's facts. Jesus would get canceled.
Oh, yeah.
In today's world.
Well, actually,
in 2023, I feel like Jesus would get canceled by the majority. Obviously not everyone. But like I'm just saying, as far as like, they would look at him like, I'm saying from the Christians would cancel. Maybe I shouldn't even say.
Yeah, the Christians would. Because I was going to
cancel them.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes. Because I think many Christians feel like we should not interact at all with that because it's not the way we live.
Correct.
Jesus wouldn't, like, it's not that he's affirming it and condoning it, but he's like, let me change you, like come to the Father. I mean, like, yeah.
And
like,
he's not, I didn't mean like that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the majority of Christians, and even like a Paul and like some of those, like, if Paul would show up, or like John the Baptist or whatever, like, I feel like most Christians would reject them.
From what reason? Just
like the way, I mean, look at Paul, like some of the way he wrote, like just like Paul was crazy and stuff. But I think the church, especially in the West, has just completely, I mean, made a religion out of it. I know it's kind of a cheesy way to say it, but really has. And not about, like, it's not about Jesus. Like the message that I think we heard, a couple weeks ago? Maybe it was even just a week ago, but just about, like, who Jesus was. Like, the verses that actually talk about how Jesus looked. Like, Jesus was not the most handsome guy. Like, nothing against the Chosen or whatever, but, like, the Chosen has got this good-looking guy, hair is perfect, whatever, just a
nice beard.
Sweet. But if you read the Bible, it was like, he barely looked like a dude. Like, he barely looked like a man. Like, his face was so marred. He was like, if you saw him on the street, you'd want to walk beside him and, like, not even and I mean, even Peter, his most, like, look at what all he did for him, and Peter denied him 3 times. Like, that's the Jesus who died for us, not this handsome, best looking guy ever. Like, no, this was like the guy no one wanted to be a part of. Like, that's the message, not this, Jesus loves you. Yes, he does. But, like, there's way more to it than just, like, the mega churchy.
It's an interesting thing if Jesus was here in 2023. Dude,
that's a good subject.
It's a bit of a wild take.
Yeah,
no, yeah. I mean,
like
we haven't gotten to that kind of heat yet, but let's. That was good. Yeah, I definitely think, like, I am
not cold anymore.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Because my whole thing is, like, I would say, like, we don't get a chance to interact with those types of people. Like, we just don't around here. I mean, you just don't, you don't see it around here. So, but I'm at all not scared of talking to anybody because I know my mind won't be changed. And I'll even have a conversation, even if they're so stern that they're not right. I think it's still beneficial to have a conversation with them, see the way they think, and just try to find some way. I mean, I think even as easy it is, treat them like humans.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I've thought too, like living in this area, I'm not saying it's an echo chamber, but a little bit of, as far as like everyone or the majority of people are believers, different flavors, of course, but like the Mennonite Amish type thing. But one thing especially with traveling, like I've traveled quite a bit, seen other churches, seen other cultures, I don't want to get too religious to the point. Like look at who Jesus was furious at. It wasn't the sinners. It wasn't the people messing their lives up. He had a heart for those people. The people he was infuriated at, flipped over tables, was the super religious, and started getting it like this religious mindset of like traditions and whatever. Like I don't want that. Like I want to become a child in my faith, as far as like simply knowing.
I could go on a rant for so long. That's so fact.
That's the thing. It is. I find like this is I think this is talked about some or whatever, but about like going on missions trips and like you having to dumb down the gospel a little bit. It's actually a really good thing just to even try to do. Like you go to a third world country and they don't know Jesus at all. Dude, I know it's like hard to like, you're not like put Jesus in a box, and it's not like putting him in a box at all, but it's like literally what it is. Jesus came and died for our sins, and we choose to believe that. And now he's paid for our sins.
We believe that he has overcome death, and we're going to join that.
Amen. And that's it. And now there's way more levels. Obviously, we're not, all that. But at the core, that is it.
And really at the true core of that is, it's not with words that people are changed. It's what Chad was saying a little bit earlier was like, it's about who you are. There's people who are like, why are you different? Or maybe even they're just thinking it. It's not that we're putting on a show. It's just like, no, Jesus actually legit changed my life.
Yeah.
Like, I know that there's all these, like, oh yeah, it's a religious thing, but like Jesus legit, like he changed my life.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm here to tell you about it because I hope it helps you.
That's one thing
That's what's powerful. It's not like shoving gospel down your throat. Yeah. But obviously.
I didn't want to cut you off. No.
No, you're good.
It was like, it was hard for me to believe, but I've heard like your personal testimony is your greatest strength. That is true. I mean, obviously, I'm just saying Jesus is, but I'm just saying like, if you're arguing with someone, you're like, Jesus changed my life. They just can't argue it.
Yeah.
They can try.
Yeah.
They can try, whatever. But you're like, bro, Jesus.
Like, bro, no, like he actually did.
No, he's like, no, he legit, like, I was going this way. He changed my life and turned me going this way. Like, you tell me that's not true. It just is. And it's interesting though, but like, how they say like.
By the power, what's that? Why am I drawing a blank right now?
Well, I have a story here for a little bit, but
go for it.
Message I heard on Sunday.
I'll look it up.
It was about like, he was like, like the sinner's prayer, if you will, like, Lord, like I accept you in my life. And he was like, he's talking about, he was on a prison crusade, and he said that there's a guy there that they felt like something in the room wasn't right, like they were holding a worship service. And
Who is this again?
Well, this was. The Miller family from North Carolina, Dave Miller, head of Gospel Express. Or
they were at a church they were singing.
Prison. It was a prison,
okay.
yeah.
Yep.
And so he just told us at church on Sunday. So, and he just said something about how instead of he sat down with an inmate or of something or whatever, and he asked him if he was a Christian, and he said something like. It was kind of like a halfway answer, like not a yes or a no, if I remember right. It might have been just a no. But instead of leading him in a prayer, he asked him, do you want to know the Lord? He just listened to what the Holy Spirit was saying, and he literally just told him, he's like, you pray. Like he told him, he's like, you pray. And he just could, or he said, do you want to pray? And he said, yes, and no words was coming out at all. He couldn't pray. And then they prayed for him. He said, like, you pray. And sure enough, he did. And that's how he was saved again. It wasn't by reciting a certain prayer. Because here's the thing, you can say that, but it says when you've accepted Jesus in your heart. It doesn't say when you've spoke it out loud. It says when you've accepted in your heart.
In your heart.
Yes. So you have to, that's like a belief that you have to make internally. It's not that just, so I thought that was really interesting. It was like, I've heard like it seems like there's only one way to be saved, and that's by Jesus, which is true. I'm just saying like different types of ways. Like having him pray was the way for him, and I was like that's interesting because I don't hear that a lot. So yeah, there's a little story.
Yeah.
And I mean, and who are we to judge which way?
Yeah.
Like,
Jesus can heal
actually,
or
all we're supposed to do is spread the message, and then who are we to say, oh no, that's not the right way?
like put Jesus in.
Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Nah, like I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not like I don't know.
I just thought it was very interesting, yeah, because I just hear all the time. It's like, it's only like the sinner's prayer, and I think oftentimes it is because in most people when they want to accept Christ, saying the sinner's prayer is that, just simply. I mean, it just is. But for this one, I just thought it was interesting to hear a different view. I was like, oh, okay. But like him praying himself, and he just broke. Like he just broke down, just crying, and just couldn't hold it in. That's what did it for him. I was like, okay.
I found that verse, Revelation 12:11, and they have conquered him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, for they love not their lives even unto death. That's
the word of the testimony.
Can't believe I did not remember that, but yeah, that was
Jesus Show 12.
That's good. Well, and it's always so different. Yeah, the Hawaiian Pigeon Bible.
Yeah.
The well, I just saw a clip of this. He used to be a worship leader like years ago. I think he was like 18 when he started, but he was like much older now. And someone was playing in the street, playing worship music, and he just started like he had glasses on so you couldn't really see, but he was crying and like you could just tell he was breaking down. But like that reminded me. It's an account on Instagram. I forget the girl's name. She is an unbelievable singer. Like one of the guys came up like, you're wasting your talent. Like you need to get on Britain's Got Talent. She's from Britain.
Gotcha.
You need to go on there now. And she's like, no, this is way more worth it than that.
Oh.
Singing for Jesus. But like that, think of the humility. Like she's in Britain, which is not even near as open as the U.S. is. On the streets in the city, like think. I mean, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I can do that. But like tomorrow, would you go do that? Like, let's go tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or tonight yet. Like,
There's
man, that takes.
there's a certain level of self that has to die before that happens. That is unreal.
And that's, I feel like in the community and this would be a pros and cons from Holmes County, which we did already. But like, I feel like in some ways it's really nice to be growing up here because a lot of people are believers. And so you're not like
it's good
shameful
company.
of it's good company. Most people are like they're decent people. But it is a bit of an echo chamber as far as everyone believes like you. So to go out on a street where no one does looks way more intimidating than if you just live out in the streets or like
I got you. It makes sense. Yeah.
I'm not even saying streets as far as like the hood, but but I'm just saying like in the city where like no one believes.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's all there's good and bad, but
any thoughts on that, Chad?
About like
Anything about like I don't know. Anything on what we talk about?
I mean, I don't know. I think that's what he's saying about the community is good because it's like, well, around here everybody's, I don't know, like I'm just starting to realize like, man, how little stuff matters like that we care about so much. Like, oh my goodness, we care so much about our job. Oh, we care so much about this. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like if I had the opportunity, like I don't know, I'm really trying to get in on more mission stuff right now, but like we're young, like especially us three, like we're young. Like why are we not out in
I know
the corners of the earth just for doing what we're supposed? Like no, we're here like trying to make sure that we can, make $100K a year and have a nice house. It's like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And like how many times does it say like, I mean, it says like one of the things God really stresses on testing him on is your finances. It doesn't matter. Like he'll provide.
He will.
Don't doubt it. Like I have not heard of any missionaries going like broke.
Coming home.
Or like I mean,
if they truly,
I don't know. Like I'm sure it's happened before, but like it. Like,
God will provide.
Yeah, he'll provide. And if not, then the people who aren't able to go on missions, they'll provide for you. Like it happens all like. Yeah. I'm like I don't know. I just think the whole working until you're like what like so your plan is to work until you're 50 and then what?
Yeah. Go travel the world then when you can barely walk.
Yeah. Chill in your mansion and
that, all the 50.
Honestly, that's the main reason that my dad. The main reason my dad took us on like vacations and places and all that when we were young was to just like he wanted his whole goal was, he just said he'd rather make memories with us than spend money on us, which obviously that included spending money. But as far he said he would much rather take us on these crazy places while we're young and we have all these memories together, than wait till we're 50 or 60 and he's dead.
Yeah.
And then like we can barely walking is extreme, obviously, but like I would hope.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like if people like,
1000%.
I've heard people ask, like, maybe not me in general, I'm just saying, like, people ask, like, dude, you're 20 and you've traveled to, honestly, I think it's over 20 countries. It's like, it's awesome. It's like, why would you do that? And it's like, I don't have a better time.
Yeah.
Like, I legit don't.
Like, when else?
Why not?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the also title. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Just say yes.
There's so many titles in this one.
I know.
One thing you said, Chad, that kind of sparked. I had thought of this the other day, and I was like, okay, we need to bring it on the pod. But what was I going to say? How was I going to say it?
Spark? Yeah, spark.
No. Oh, okay. As a young person, like, I'm kind of in the same boat of like, this is trash. Like, what am I actually doing with, like, what am I doing with my life? Like, actually. Like, you read the Bible, what has he done for me? He's done everything for me. And what am I doing with it? I'm just sitting here doing...
Going to work every day.
We're chilling here in our parents' houses, like, all this with secure jobs, all this stuff. And it's like...
But
life is good.
My thing was, okay, in the Christian life, there's a balance of, okay, like, you had the zealots at the time of, like, Jesus and everything. They were just... let's fight, we're going to bring the kingdom. No, we're going to fight, like, we're going to, kill all the bad people. And that, like, in the Christian life, in the same way, there's people who are extremely zealous and extremely, we're going to do it, but can also be a little bit on their own strength. But then as a Christian, there's also a place to be in of, Lord, take me, I'm nothing, I'm a vessel, like, shape me into who you want me to be, and almost like kind of like a weak way to be, which is good. You let the Lord, like,
they don't take a step of faith ever, though, or like they don't.
So there's a balance, and I was trying to, like, what is that balance? Like, when should I be like, no, I'm like, let's do this, I'm gonna go, preach with, but then there's a balance of like, well, I want to also be like, Lord, take me, I want to be more like you. And I think the biggest thing that I kind of came up with was, I feel like it is extremely important to always be humble, of course, but fear the Lord. Have the fear of the Lord, but in that, know who Jesus is in you. And in that place, that's where you can be zealous.
Yeah.
But never let your mind or what you think you should be doing take over what the Spirit wants you to do or what Jesus wants you to do. So have the fear of the Lord, number one. Keep him number one that way. Be humble. Like, be a vessel. Be willing to be shaped. Be willing to go through anything that he wants you to, but also in that, know who he is and know the authority you have in his name. Like, that's kind of, I don't know. I don't know if you call it revelation, but
I know what
it was
you're
like,
talking about. Because, like, I came across a reel that actually scared me, like, the other day. Like, you ever just be on Instagram Reels and, like, you just all of a sudden are on a holy page? Like, like, okay, like, it's not a coincidence because it's been 3 in a row now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually, like, no, okay, you cannot convince me. Yeah, he is not watching because, like, bro, it will be one. You'll just skip it just because, bro, nah, not right now. Another one. It's like, okay.
Hang on.
Okay.
Now
back it up.
No, but it was a
knocking.
verse about like how you'll be judged on how much you know. And that just kind of shook me because I'm like, okay, we grew up in Holmes County.
Like, to the measure
Yeah,
that
to the measure of
know
like how much that you actually know about the gospel. I'm like, we know as much as about humanly possible. or this area, like, we grew up our whole lives around it. And we're gonna
This is the center.
we're gonna go work and do this over
and waste it.
Yeah.
Or
And, like, I don't know, that kind of scared me because I'm like, man, like, we should be the most, like, I mean, yeah, then you get on religious stuff, but, like, not religious people, like, we should be exactly who God calls us to be because we have all the knowledge.
We have
and almost every day
we neglect
it to a certain extent almost every day.
Yeah.
And I also think in that, we don't have to, and just, it's a reminder to me, is don't feel like, in my mind, to be a successful Christian or be in God's calling, I got to be out there, like, on the mission field, literally, like, pulling people to Christ, like prayer, like spending a 6-hour day praying.
It's like the video.
Like like that video.
I heard you watched
That
it.
is that interview just reminded me, like, oh my goodness. Like, you kind of hear, like, oh yeah, I'm a prayer warrior, you know. But that comes with the whole thing. There's some abuse in that, but there's also an extreme strength in that. Like that interview showcased it. If you haven't watched it yet, go do it.
Message us. Yeah, we'll send it. Yeah.
But I think like it. Don't also make it to where, like, okay, I think that this would be the most valuable. If I don't go to another country, I'm not doing God's work. Like, no, be careful. Like, let God move you. And I think it's not like it's wrong to make a lot of money. It's not wrong to have a business. It's not wrong to have those things, as long as it's with the will of the Lord and He leads you in that. Because that can also be fruitful in, giving to missions. It can also just be fruitful to your employees. Like, I think,
Whichever door's open.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Walk through that thing.
Yeah.
Walk through it.
Because you can normally tell which door, like, if it opens and it's like in that direction, like, you normally know.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Man,
Whew.
that was a good episode.
I feel like we've been on fire now.
It is hot in here. What do we got for verses to end this thing? We're going to go acoustic versus electric guitar. We're switching the vibe.
Electric.
Ooh.
Well, this is just because I do sound. I love the sound of
The
electric guitar.
does sound so good.
It's playing acoustic because I also don't know how to play electric. So
yeah.
Sound electric.
Electric sounds so cool.
There's
But
times
the
where
acoustic is
Matt
the backbone.
there's times where Matt is playing and dude, I'm back here with sound. I crank that thing up.
Getting
like,
chills.
oh my goodness, dude. Like, there's a couple solos and he's just going at it. I'm like, yes, turn that thing up. But
Do you
no,
agree, Chad?
I think
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
learn how to play actually electric because
Electric's sweet.
I think I was telling a friend the other day, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that like the word for like the rest of my life is just is gonna be balance. Like everything comes back. There is a balance. Like nothing. I don't think. I mean, that's like 2 on fire for the Lord. Be 2 on fire for the Lord. Whatever that. But I'm just saying in general.
Didn't we hear a message?
Yeah,
on
we
that?
did. It was like
But there's balance.
I
That's
know.
like this
that's
whole
a-
episode.
Dude,
is
listen-
It's a balance.
Literally the whole episode.
Listen to any older person's advice.
It's like don't go.
They literally cannot not say balance.
Yeah.
They always say
Well,
balance.
there's a balance to it, you know. Like, well, okay, so you don't want to go too far this way, too far that way. Exactly.
There's a balance.
Just balance. There's a balance. So I don't know. I love the word balance right now.
Balance.
Big balance guy.
Big balance guy. That's a great title too. Goodness, I don't know how I'm gonna pick a title.
Man, what an episode. We got into the weeds.
Good. Hopefully that. Are you not entertained?
We were not going to talk about any of that.
That was actually really good. That was a good reminder. So
It was for
Anyway,
sure.
well-
Thanks for listening.
thanks, Chad, for coming on. Sorry that he was in your left ear. I think.
Oh, also, yeah, we don't have voice memos right now because
Yeah.
we're dry. DMs are
Bring 'em
dry.
Bring him in. We have dried up on the voice memos.
Taylor-
Send them in.
Taylor said he was thinking about it, but I guess he didn't.
We
so.
didn't get any. But we do have some other questions in the hopper that someone had sent us. So we do have some stuff, but keep them coming.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next episode.
Cool.
Thank you.